Wow, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Outsiders. I'm your host, Sean Sims, and of course, I'm here with my superstar co-host, Marvin Doc Cheatham. Doc, how are things going today?
I woke up, I can't say I'm in my right mind, but I woke up, thanks be to the Lord, and listeners, we hope that you can handle the truth. We're certain that you can. We're going to bring you the truth. We hope you can handle it.
Yeah, we hope you all can handle the truth, because on this show, this is what we do. We are unlike any other show that you will ever hear, because here in Baltimore, this is the Baltimore edition, we give the truth of what's going on and how things are affecting people. And there's some people here in Baltimore, what you would call the power elite. So they think in their mind, and they're legends in their own mind. And you have people here in Baltimore, and I guess they think that they control the show. The people control the show, not the show. I'm talking about what goes on in the city, Baltimore City. It's about the people. It's not about people who have titles in front of their names or a bunch of letters after their name, who think that they're the creme de la creme and they can talk to me. Let's get this straight. They think that they can talk to me any way they want because you have a title in front of your name. Let's get something straight. This show has integrity. We tell it like it is. And no, we do not run out and try to dig up dirt. We're just going out there, some rumor that that's what we do. Second of all, Baltimore is the dirtiest city and has the dirtiest district, District 7, James Torrance, in the dirtiest city. It's corrupt to the core, and this go along to get along business is just frankly making me sick. And you can get people who can hang up the phone on me if you want, because you can't handle the truth, and you can't handle a phone call because something was said about you, and I wanted to find out, in all fairness, what was going on. And I had a certain judge about a case 20 years ago, which involved a really good friend of mine, and her mom, who was a good friend of mine, and had amnesia, and proceeded to hang up the phone on me after saying no comment and filibustering. Didn't give me a chance to even ask a question. It was a disgrace. It was dishonorable, and it was a disgrace. And then to insult the integrity of this show, that's what I do, and this show is somehow not truthful. And then to say, after sending my podcast to a friend, what is he doing? Question mark. What is he doing? Who the hell do you think you are to question what I do on my show? This is my show. I do what I want. If you don't like it, don't listen to the podcast. Sanctimonious. Look, I just want to make things perfectly clear and clear the air. Clear the air that the outsiders are here to do two things: chew bubble gum and kick ass. And we're all out of bubble gum. So for you very few haters, Doc, you know what? Most of the people who talk, I'd say 9.9 out of 10 people that, come up to me and talk to me about the show, call me about the show, what they've heard, it's been extremely positive, except for a couple of haters. So what have you been getting back on the shows?
I guess in two different areas. One, most of the information that we are conveying, they were not aware of. That's the first thing they meant to me. And then secondly, say, you're always trying to find solutions. And that's a part of what this show is about, is to expose what's going on, but then try to come up with some means by which we can make things bigger and better. And that's all I've been doing all my life, and I think you're the same way, Sean. It's not only to expose the wrong and the injustice, but then try to find solutions to bring solutions and to the problems that we have. And I can't think of anything better. Expose what's going on and then come up with solutions.
Well, that's what we want to do. Come up with solutions and for those who may say, I don't like to hear negative things. This is coming from a person who I had a little conversation with, went to Sheila Dixon's, she changed the name. I don't know if you noticed, but on her Facebook page, she had Sheila Dixon town halls, all these town halls. Then all of a sudden, after our show, Doc, last week, she changed it to community listening session. So she took out the term town hall. Let me explain something to you how things work, okay? There's nothing wrong with having a town hall where you're disclosing, having full disclosure in the fact that it is your town hall. It's not being sponsored by a radio or TV broadcasting network, okay? But it's your town hall, and you are having the people come to ask you questions and you to answer their questions and so on and give out information. There's nothing wrong with that. See, what the problem is when you have a town hall that's sponsored by a station, and they're saying, okay, this is a town hall, and you're thinking and they're putting it out that there are going to be other folks who are candidates or running for the office who are going to be a part of that town hall. When you put that message out, that that's the type of town hall that you're having, and you put that message out, and you only have one person, okay, that's called in sales a bait and switch. And then when you have people on the panel, and there's no full disclosure that they're supporting you on top of that, that's the problem. That's the problem that you run into by not telling the truth and being deceitful. Doc, what do you think about what I just said?
One, I totally agree. And I want folks to understand this, that many of us do something outside of what you hear us talk about. I'm a community president, and one of the challenges I have is to try to walk a fine line. Right there, no one can say that Doc Cheatham has announced that he's supporting anybody. You know, but what I try to do as a community president, like right now, we think we have the best questionnaire that anyone in Baltimore City can benefit from, that you ask the hard questions of candidates. And that's what we're in the process of doing with many of these radio shows, is asking hard questions, bringing up the truth that will hopefully set you free. And then all we're saying is, make intelligent decisions and don't elect people because of how well they dress, what fraternity or sorority they belong to. Elect the best people, and that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to help us do a better job, because right now, I think we have failed in really selecting qualified people to represent us. And I would say 85 to 90% of the people who represented us shouldn't use us because they have failed in their job. Yes, you folks, for the most part, have failed to properly represent us.
I agree wholeheartedly. Out in the sea. Mark Smith. Quickly, they should be kicked out of office, and certain people trying to get into office should never be trying to get back into office. You do not let the fox back into the chicken coop. And what I want to do is, what's going on, and this is breaking, it was white powder, Doc, there's white powder that was found, again, at the Baltimore City Circuit Court. There's white powder that has been found in that circuit court, and 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, there was white powder found in the circuit court, and they did not evacuate that building. They did not evacuate part of it, just a few people, but they did. And this time, I spoke with Sam Cogan. I spoke with him, and I asked, are there still people? First of all, is there white powder? Okay. And he pretty much confirmed that, yeah. Okay, well, is the building evacuated? Did you do a full evacuation? And you know what he says to me, Doc? Now, this is the sheriff who was elected. This is an elected official. This is what he said to me. He said, well, do you have my Facebook page? I'm talking to you right now, Sam. Well, do you have my Twitter? Well, you can get our statement on my Facebook page and my Twitter. Can you believe that?
Well, I did know that folks come up with explanations, but when I learned in the year, excuse me, 2009, what the first protocol is if you have an anthrax or a white powder substance. And the first thing I learned in 2009, just come from the NAACP convention, we were listed out of 1,400 branches, the #1 branch in the nation. I came home with up a package in the branch office, and white powder flew all over me. The first thing I was told when I called the fire department, take yourself outside the building. You need to evacuate because you don't want other folks that are inside that building having to deal with you possibly having anthrax. So I learned first thing was to evacuate, and then the second thing was not to get close to anybody. So I'm standing out there in 96-degree temperature with my arms out and standing in the sun. But I learned the one thing in 2009, evacuate the building.
Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over what happened with the circuit court. I'm going to go over that, and we're going to also, I'm going to talk with, and hold on, Doc, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up get Wayne. Wayne Baker's our special guest. Let me be sure people know. Wayne Baker is our special guest, and we're going to have him on the show. He is a candidate. He is a candidate. He filed as a candidate for mayor of Baltimore City. So hold on just a second. Let me pull up Wayne. He should be waiting for my call. And we're calling Wayne Baker, who's a mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
Okay, hello, Wayne. How you doing? You're on The Outsiders. I got my co-host Doc Cheatham on with me. How are you doing today?
How are you?
Man, it seems like we all blessed. I like this little thing. I like this energy.
Well, this is the energy.
That's the show.
When did you file, Wayne, for
Well,
mayor?
actually, let me see. I finally got my official documentation and everything about 2 weeks ago, and I think I filed maybe like 2 weeks prior to that. So it was a little bump in the road, but I kind of got, you know what, why it wasn't as hard for me because I'm in these people's faces, and when you tell them things like, you know what, I'm going to clean the city out, because I truly mean most of those departments in this run by the city, you try to get them to work, they got attitude problems and everything. It's like you almost got to go down there and just stand behind for them to do their work. You know, the play at the state is when I go in there and say, some of these offices need to be changed, you need people in the back come out. And then they'll come out, oh, well, this thing, you need to do this, and then you need them. So they kind of like help me through. It was like, oh, let me pull this out, pull that out. And because other than that, you know how everything is in the city. You in so much red tape for, let's say, for example, just to open up a simple business in Baltimore, it is almost impossible. So, you know I'm in rest things for being a mayoral candidate, but it's about a month process all in all.
Well, what is your platform? What do you want to do for Baltimore City? What is your political platform? What do you want to do? If you were mayor, what would you do?
My opportunity. I'm not a politician. Let me be absolutely 100% clear. I am not a politician.
Well, that's a good thing.
I'm not traditional.
Okay.
My assignment is to put opportunities in Baltimore. We're going to start out mainly, there are 4 sections in Baltimore. We're going to put all 4 trade schools, not small, major trade schools, where we can train over 10,000 students, save over 10,000 of these houses that are falling down in Baltimore City. Trade schools meaning HVAC, electrical, plumbing, roofing, auto mechanic, diesel mechanic, CDLs. These are type of programs you get out in months instead of years. Also, it gives them something to do. Not only that, let's say, for example, one of the persons come to our school, we know if you're in the black area or you're in the inner city, which is the inner city of Baltimore, black area, let's put it that way, you're going to have one of the main issues. You're going to be a substance abuse, mental health, or of those issues. So instead of we resourcing it out. Everything is under one umbrella. 4 locations. Right here, for example, you have a Sir Gerald Douglas College that was shut down. You ever seen that building on that side over there that's sitting there?
Yeah, we know about that.
I got my doctorate degree from Sojourner Douglas.
When you see that gorgeous building right there is one of the locations we're going to put the trade school. Do you see proud history back in our history? Then the city owns 60,000 of these abandoned homes. So we need 10,000 of them to surface through the school. Now, once they work on the house, now, the worse the house is, it works better for the students because they have to spend more hours in the training to get the house up to par. Once the house is completed, the house is sold back to the students for the same price we purchased from the city. So we've just taken a brother off the street that we thought that was going to be a failure, in and out of jail, drug abuse and all that. We took him out. He completed the program, so in 18 months he's certified into one of those training titles, and he can own a house with no mortgage. You see the difference? We took a brother off the street, got him certified in a homeowner. Then that same brother that you said, now they're not in the business of killing or want to be killed because now you own something. You actually a value of something. That makes a difference. There's no way to stop murder and killing and overdose and drugs. People are going to do that always. You got to change their mindset. They got to want to do better. When you have moving to this one, you don't want to die or take someone else's life. So that is pretty much where my platform is for Baltimore.
Well, let me ask you a question. When it comes to the education system, I want to start with that. When it comes to the education system, right now you have in charge the CEO of the Baltimore City School System, is what I call her Dr. Mangala. What would you do once you get in? Are you going to keep her on board, or are you?
No, and this is where we miss the boat at all the time. Not only have a lot of those people have got to go. I haven't cleaned your house since just their performance has not impressed me at all. Not personally, I don't know them. I'm not church members with them. I'm talking about that job performance. It does not. It just doesn't. It doesn't match up to the smell test. Put it this way: their results of their job performance doesn't match up. So we got to sit down now. We don't listen to the teachers. The teachers, I've spent a lot of time with them. They have some brilliant ideas. But you know why they don't listen to the teachers? Because the teachers want them to get rid of that curriculum. That curriculum that's been taught for years, they know that it's not the teachers' issues. It's the curriculum that they're teaching the students. They're not interested in it. So we all got to come back to the table. The students, the parents, the teachers have to come to the table and come up with another structure in teaching our children. Baltimore has to be a leader, not a follower, because it's not working. The other way is not working. Keep telling our students to catch up. That's just not going to work. We got to change the curriculum. Listen to the teachers. They are the ones that give the teacher. The other ones on top is they have 20 years.
Well, Wayne, this is what I want to do. Okay. Since I have you on the line, I went to Sheila Dixon's community listening session. Now she's renamed it from Town Hall to Community Listening Session. I went to Little Italy. I was in Little Italy, and it was interesting. I want you to listen to this, and I'm going to ask you some questions afterwards because I want to see what your take would be on what happened and some of the questions that I asked. Okay, here we go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Sims. I'm the host of the podcast, TheOutsiders, and I have...
The audio is horrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
It's horrible. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play some of it, then I'm going to explain what's going on.
A few quick questions. First of all, there was an event that happened a few weeks ago at the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. What happened was white powder was found.
Now what I'm doing is I'm asking this. Okay, there was white powder that was found at the Circuit Court for Baltimore City, and this was 2 weeks ago, October the 16th. They actually we broke it earlier, Wayne. There was white powder again this morning found at the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. And I asked Ms. Dixon what she would do. She did say I would get my people out of there. If it was City Hall, you know, if the same thing happened, I would have gotten my people out. I would have evacuated them. But Sam Cogan and Xavier Conaway on October the 16th, Xavier Conaway is a 24-year-old that nobody knows. He just had the name Conaway and people voted for him. So now you have a 24-year-old kid. It's a shame. It's a disgrace, actually. But you have him in as a clerk. So Sam Cogan's a sheriff, and we were told by Kim Banks, who was former employee and had been there for years, the protocol is for the sheriff to be the one to, you know, get the people out of there. And again, for the second time, and I spoke with him, Sam Cogan left them in the building. And I also asked her if she would be willing to do a debate. And she said, listen to this, Wayne. She said she'd be willing to do a debate, maybe, but after February, when the filing date is over. What do you think of that?
Because what she wants to do is because she wants to be already locked in. She wants all of the people, and I'm not judging it, but a lot of the church folks are locked in because they want to get their favors, their crumbs, they want to set up and they want it locked in. And they don't want people interested enough. But it takes people like you, we got to get to the nitty-gritty. We have to have it fair and square. If you're ready and you have a plan for Baltimore City, let's bring it up. Let's start now. We don't have to wait for that. Let's start with debate. And she should be a master at debating. I mean, Sheila Dixon been in politics. I talked to someone else another time for eons. She done anything else but that. So, I mean,
she was a teacher. She was a school teacher.
She had all the plans. That's for Baltimore. I should give them all.
Wait. She was a teacher. Wait. She was a teacher prior. She did have a life prior to politics. I just want to make sure everyone knows that.
And the system, the school system.
So she was a teacher, but when it comes to an evacuation and a building and a situation like that, I want to play this, and I'm going to, well, as a matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to see if I can finagle this. I'm going to see if I can bring Kim Banks on the show as well, because I want to go over what happened with this situation and this evacuation. So let me see if I can do it. I'm trying to work some magic here. Okay, we're trying to work some magic on this, folks here. I'm trying to do a conference call. And let's see if we can do this. Okay, there we go. Kim, are you there? Kim?
Yeah.
Okay, we got... Yeah, okay, well, I've got Wayne Baker, who's running for mayor, and Doc Cheatham on, so we got a real conference call here. Oh, yeah, so this is going to get, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to play what happened on the 16th of October, where there was an anthrax scare and threat, and they had another one this morning. There's another one, and they left the people in the building again. I cannot believe that they did it again. Yes. I spoke with Sam Cogan, the sheriff, and he told me to go to my Twitter page or Facebook page to get my official statement. What? And they talked about the fire department, and I guess the fire department, they had to say, excuse me? Hey, Kim, does the fire department tell the sheriff or the circuit court when to get people out of there?
No.
So what is he talking about? No, the people were still in the building. I mean, they took some people out, but the majority of the people are still...
What people that they took out? That got me even more puzzled.
Well, let me do this. Let me play this clip, so just hold on just a second. Okay.
Monday afternoon, fire crews cordoned off the entrance of the Cummings Courthouse for a hazmat investigation. Baltimore City Sheriff Sam Cogan says an envelope with a white powder inside was found on the second floor of a judge's chambers. The sender, addressed as an inmate at a state correctional facility.
We have limited information, but we can say we believe at this point it came through the United States Postal Service.
A hazmat task force donning coveralls and face masks is investigating investigating the substance. City Fire spokesperson Kevin Cartwright says as a precaution, 3 people who came into close contact with the envelope went for evaluation. He adds no one was showing any signs or symptoms of illness at the time, and there was no airborne threat.
We felt it from an emergency medical perspective to have these.
Downtown Baltimore, the investigation continues.
Doing something like this is a very valuable, we'll be doing everything we can to try to solve this and make sure we want whoever, did this to justice.
Dozens of people evacuated after a hazmat situation in Tempe shut down several city buildings.
Also new at 10 o'clock, a scare at the Arno Federal Building in Pensacola this afternoon. Court staff found a white powdery substance in an envelope and alerted authorities. The building was evacuated. The substance and
Suspicious letter was found by an employee on the first floor of the building. Police say a substance was found inside an envelope. Employees were evacuated. 2 people were quarantined.
And authorities have just given the all clear in Irwindale, where employees evacuated a mail processing center for SoCal Edison this morning. Now, after finding this suspicious.
Okay, what's going on is I played what happened on October 16th with the reporting on the anthrax scare, the white powder, and the news didn't, here locally, they did not inform the citizens of Baltimore City, of the state of Maryland. They did not inform them that the people were locked in the building after they found the white powder, which is an anthrax scare. So, yeah, they did not inform. I don't know why the media in Baltimore City did not inform everyone that white powder was found in the building and that people weren't evacuated. There was no evac. Now, when you heard the other cities, I could play a ton more. And trust me, when you hear it on the podcast and when you hear it on iHeartRadio and YouTube, you're going to be able to hear it clearer, much clearer. Because I have you guys on the phone and the reception is not good in hearing, but you will be able to hear it very well. And the other cities, they kept saying, you can hear evac, even. They were evacuated. They were evacuated. White powder was found. Immediately evacuated.
You find out why.
Now here's.
I don't want to speculate, but, twice, but you have to remember that people only do to you what you allow. So the first time that happened and no one in there done anything about it, that's why it happened the second time. No, it should not have happened. They should have all stood up and said, are you crazy? This is our right.
I called the sheriff's office, and the first young lady I spoke with, she wasn't even aware. She was in the Elijah Cummings building. I said, are you in the building? She goes, yes. I said, you're telling me you're still there? They just found white powder, you're still in the building? She goes, yeah, like everything was fine. Oh, sure, why not? You know what, when they find white powder in the building or in the school, federal building, courthouse, you know what, why leave? Why leave? We'll just sit around and, let them lock us in and, everything will be copacetic. We'll just wait. Now, this is what was said last night. This is very important. I don't know the gentleman's name, but Sheila Dixon pulled this guy up while he was sitting and brought him in the middle of her and I having a question and answer, and brought this guy. He was one of Cogan's guys, and he said no, it was proper protocol for what was done. It was proper protocol for what was done to not have an evacuation. And then he said, well, we found out that it was harmless. Hey, genius. You don't know it's harmless when you first find it. That's why everyone evacuates.
When did he find out it was harmless?
The next day. The next day.
Wow.
So he okayed it. He said that is protocol of what you do. And then, of course, Sheila, and then this is what he said. One of Cogan's guys. He goes, well, you just told people that there was anthrax. That's not true. That's not what I said. I said there was an anthrax threat. A threat by finding the white powder. So instead of Sheila, now this is to her discredit, instead of Sheila saying, hey, wait a minute, that's not true, he said that there was a threat and she didn't do that. So this is why I've named her, and hold on just a second, guys, as I'm going to play this.
You can imagine that you have no idea what writing this is meant to be. You do know what the Queen of Cups means in an upside-down position. The deceitful, perverse woman, a liar, a cheat, and Anthrax smiles now.
Yeah, a deceitful woman. That's what the Queen of Cups in an upside-down position means. That's why I call Sheila the Queen of Cups. Because she deflected, brought in one of Hogan's cronies to have him stand up there, make a statement that was not true about what I said, and she did not correct him. I never said that. I never said that there was anthrax. I said there was an anthrax threat. That is why you evacuate. What do you all think of that?
That's right. That's not the same as actual anthrax. You said it's threat.
And that's what it is.
That's when they're supposed to took to the next level. The threat is the why they should clear the building, not after they find out. That doesn't make any sense. And what needs for it to be a threat is the threat to get out now. We diagnose the issue. But look what happened. That's why it happened the second time. It took what happened again.
It's unbelievable.
When does the staff want to stand up? That's what I want to know. I mean, listen, that's probably why they're not doing anything. But guess what? When the staff stand up, then they do the investigation. They can file everything. But if the staff don't stand up, there's very little that we can do. We can scream and yell, but we can back them up if they stand up. Because that's when they do the investigations. You know, they have pull this, pull that camera, do this, and they'll do the investigation and find out how wrong they were for leaving the staff in there. But who is the staff that was left in there?
Well, here's the thing. My wife called me, and I'm literally putting the show together. You know, okay, I got a few things to put together for the podcast. And I get a call from my wife who works at the circuit court. And she tells me, she goes, I can't believe this. They just said that we have to leave because they found an envelope with white powder in it. I said, you've got to be kidding. So
your mom actually works there.
Yes, I knew what was going on. So I said, okay. So I go pick her up, and I'm thinking when she said that they let us go, she said they're letting us go for the day. So I'm thinking they evacuated. Okay, great. He didn't evacuate on October the 16th. Then she tells me, get this. Oh no, they just evacuated our people on our floor, the 4th floor. I said, what about everyone else? She said, oh no, it was just them. What? So you're telling me they left all the citizens and everyone else in the building? They did it again? Oh my goodness. So I called Sheriff Hogan's office, finally got him. He actually got to the phone this time. All the many other times I've called and emailed him, I've got no response.
Your boy's in another sphere? Absolutely. I know he came to the phone without a doubt.
So
well, I ask you, Sean, which office exactly was the powder found?
She said that this is what she told me as far as what the information she received. I believe in the mail room or one of those rooms on the 4th floor.
Okay.
So they got the people.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Keep going. I'm multitasking as well.
So
I understand.
Yeah, we understand. So especially Doc.
This was quite interesting. I'm for sure with that though.
No.
I just asked him which office specifically was the powder found.
On the 4th floor. It was on the 4th floor, I believe, the mail room.
Somewhere near the mail room.
Yeah, on the 4th floor. So they evacuated.
You know, they would clear the whole building. You don't know how it came, which floor it came from. I don't understand that, but you know they went wrong. All of us sitting here talking, more likely they went wrong with this. And
again?
Being exposed, right? And listen, you know why? Because they didn't get exposed the first time, and it happened again. And maybe they don't know how to do the protocol anymore. Maybe they forgot because it's been a while. You know, back then when it was a scare, everybody was ready. But with the COVID, the anthrax sort of thing sort of died out. Now it's a whole different stilo. Maybe they need to be awakened again because this is how people get in. They always catch us sleeping.
Well,
every time it happens, they always catch us sleeping. Right now, this is twice this.
But this is the second time. This is the second time, and everyone knows, even people who are not fire department people, what's his name, Kevin Cartwright, I believe. I'm supposed to be getting in touch with him. But even people who are, they know.
Maybe this is telling us because maybe the next time it's going to be for real, and it is too late then. Do you kind of see what I mean? It's too late then, because if that was real without getting them out, half of that building would have been garbage, not all. Do you know the power of that stuff?
Yes, I do. I do. Well,
anyway, seriously.
Okay, well.
You were saying about them needing to get reacclimated with the protocol. That's not an excuse for them to use, because if you are in a power position like that, you have to stay on your game at all times with all procedures, all protocol. It doesn't matter if COVID comes back, then you be ready for COVID, and you get ready for Anthrax, and you get ready for anything else. You gotta always be ready.
Or get another position.
Absolutely.
You
You never do that. You
Yeah.
never do that.
Now here's the thing. Now you just had a lawsuit pending from Billy Murphy, and when I heard the news, with $100 million, $25 million a pop for 4 families, including the Gonzalez family and Faye Bentley family, and I said, good, because more people who stand up for their civil rights, there should be more lawsuits in these courts, because these people, they just rip away people's civil rights. Just left them. These government agencies, these people in power, they think that they can just do whatever they want to people and treat people any way they want, especially us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And unfortunately, you gotta hit them in their pockets for them to listen to you.
Yeah, on the side of that coin there, let's listen to this side. That's where I think our issue come in at. Because that's how they always get us. Give us some money and just shut us up. When everything is not right. Let me give you like this bus system. I remember when I first started, it's like when the bus is free, it's all messed up. It's free so we can shut up. They always abuse us and doing us wrong. Another thing, the land. They give all the money to those kids and all who eating lead, but not the money, but no therapy. So you know mentally something was wrong. That's how you settle the kids. So now you give them no therapy, but you give them money. So maybe all this crime and the things that's happening could be something to do with all the land that you give the money to. So maybe we'll stop taking the money, because we need to make our own money. Honestly, as a black individual, we need our own. If we were set with our own, we wouldn't take their money. We need the respect. They gotta stop disrespecting us. That's the main thing.
Well, that is true.
Keep your money. You gotta stop disrespecting. This is our family. This is our loved ones. I want them to live a nice, healthy, long time. This mess is a mess. Playing with our lives. Okay, you can't play with our life. Our life is invaluable. Ask God. He loves us. It has nothing to do with money. Our life is way more valuable than any dollar. So the respect that we have, but we have to respect each other. Because if we respect each other and pull together, no one will mess with us at all. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And that's been our problems, throughout the country in different situations. If we had just stuck together as a group, we would, oh my God, how would we behave as a community all over this country?
That's the thing. And look, it goes right back to that, because we go back there. Yeah, the government got us out the home because you couldn't have the food stamps or this out there with a man at home, and I put it right back with the man. I said, oh well, look what we did. Maybe we should have said, guess what, government, keep your food stamps and your money. I'm sticking in my family. I'm sticking here. So maybe we won't get the food stamps and whatever, but I'm going to stay in my home. You understand? That we and we watched this in the second move, because then the mothers would have to leave the house and work 12 or 15 hours a day, leaving the kids without the love and respect and attention that they needed, because the house would be taken care of because the man's day. Because see how it was a twofold. Now the mother had to leave and work all the hours. Who's taking care of the kids? That's where the problem comes in at. Those kids.
Hey, Wayne. He sounds like Donnie Glover. I'm like, is this Donnie Glover? Wayne, you're right on point what you're saying. you're right on point with that. And the issue is, well, let's look at this evacuation situation with the anthrax threat a second time today breaking. And I'm talking to everyone. I'm talking to Wayne Baker, who's running for mayor, and I'm speaking with Kim Banks. I got Superstar Doc Cheatham on the line, and we're going over all this information. But Billy Murphy said something. I want to play a quick clip of what Billy Murphy said today on the C4 and Brian Newman. I don't know what was going on with Newman with the questions he had, but it was kind of strange. You know, he's more worried about the city paying out $100 million than he is the family. But hold on a second. Let me go ahead and play this. Hope you can hear it. What he's saying, Billy Murphy's saying, is that they should have had insurance. See, Newman's worried about the $100 million is going to cost the city, and he's saying, look, they should have insurance. What happens is when you have insurance and you get insured and they have to make sure everything is okay, they're going to make sure that they check over your police department to make sure that they're doing things right, because they're insuring you. So they have fiduciary responsibility to make sure things are. They're not insured because they wouldn't be able to get the insurance. Maybe that's the reason why. Because Doc, you talk about the consent decree, they're not following it. So maybe that's an issue why they're not insured. Maybe they can't get insurance. I don't know. Doc, what do you think about it?
Very much so. Very much so.
So that might be the reason why they don't have the insurance. And you've got these police, my buddy of mine, and I can actually say this because some people actually last week said that this person was a friend of mine, and then she corrected me, well, I'm not your friend, we might be acquaintances, and then hung the phone up on me. But I can say that this person, I can say that this person is a friend of mine, Dwight Pettit, and I'm going to call him on this issue because the police have been sued. And he's had plenty of them against the Baltimore City Police, and he's told me the stories about some of the things they've done. Oh my goodness. The stuff he shared with me about the Baltimore City Police and what they've done, and they get sued and continue to do it. Exactly.
Even worse, sitting in the truck in the car doing absolutely nothing. It's just as bad as doing over policing and being disrespectful. They went from one spectrum all the way to the other one. That's what they want to do. They don't do nothing at all. They sit in them trucks, and guess what? But guess what? They get the same salary. They get the same amount of money. And now they get overtime. Overtime for what? You don't even work for the hours you want to have. Where's the overtime coming from? Just to make it seem like you got police officers on the street? It's not making any sense. It really not. And that money that they have, you know their budget, if you break that budget down, listen, we know Baltimore need protection. Let's not get you guys figure out it, Joe, we know. But we need someone who serve and protect for real. We really do. We need someone who get out the car, get involved, understand the crime situation, because you're trained. You are trained to handle the situation, so you have to do your job. If not, once again, remember we say that, you need to find somewhere else to work. That's just my policy all over Baltimore. If you don't want to do your job, find somewhere else to work. Complaints are if I can't accept the complaints from my brother who's not doing anything in the street, I can't accept the complaints from somebody who's getting paid a good salary and still complaining. If you don't like your job, you can't do your job. Find something else to do.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. But you have a
you got a job to do. Do your job. Wait,
it's hard to get it word. Wait. No. He's very passionate. Look, here's the thing. They keep touting the number 500 officers short. And I spoke with some people, and they told me, they said, Sean, it's a lot more than 500. It's closer to maybe 800-900 officers short. I'm like, really? Yeah. So you have all these officers because Dumbbell, Bubblehead, Slim Shady wanted to defund the police. They don't want to work in Baltimore. Brandon Scott is Slim Shady. Brandon Scott, see, he's not a listener of the show, you would know. You got to go back and listen to the other. You got to go back and listen to the other podcasts and the show. It's Brandon Scott. Yeah, the backstabbing Brandon Scott with the BG&E backstabbing deal. Okay, he's the one who wanted to defund the police. Then you have James Torrance of the 7th District in a meeting. I was sitting there and he's talking about defunding the police. So you got people who want to defund the police. And they don't want to work in Baltimore. Look at the leadership. Would you want to work with these knuckleheads? The leadership I'm talking about.
You just said it. If we change leadership, other things will change. That's the problem. We have terrible leadership. We keep every level. You said you gonna make me shout right now. On every level. That's the sad part about it.
So who wants to work for a city where you got poor leadership on every level, and then you've got somebody who wants to come back in the office? You want to let the fox back into the chicken coop. I'm talking.
He said, I was a little bit better than the other one. That's our campaign policy. I was a little bit better than him, so I should get back in. Oh, okay, so yours was 297 kills, his was 301. So, oh yeah, let's let you do it. Let's do a couple more. Come on, Sheila. Listen, I don't personally have anything against you, but your job performance was as worse as his. You forget.
Ooh. Oh. Oh, wow. Ouch. Ouch. And you didn't even mention the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room being embezzlement of low-income folks. Gift cards.
Hey, listen, she go to church, remember. Church folks has got another way of doing things. They like to move stuff around and hide and cover things up for them. But yet they point the finger at everybody else.
That's because...
Right. But when they do something, look at that. Oh, it was just this, just that. See, that's why they are the biggest hypocrites. That's why they don't deserve to run anything. I told you, we can't run the city like we run the mega churches. It don't work. It ain't gonna be no more favoritism. You're gonna tiptoe up there and put that money in that thing and go up there with a pass and think you're better than everybody else. The city shouldn't be run like that. It should be. Yeah, I'm fair and swear, if you work hard and you do what you're supposed to do and you're supposed to move up there. Regardless if you like the person or not, if they're productive, okay, and at what they do, and they show results of what they do, let's move them up. Forget the popular people that we like because they're not productive, they're not effective. Look what we have.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I gotta make this perfectly clear because I grew up in the church and my grandfather was a pastor of the church. But wait, let me clear this up. And he had a radio ministry, he had a TV ministry. I was involved in it for years. But there's one thing I have to make perfectly clear. There's a difference between being a church person and a person of God. Just because you're one doesn't mean you're the other. Okay? There's a difference. Just because you go to church don't mean that you're right. Just because... Wayne, somebody get this man a podcast. Good grief. Wayne, just because you, and I've seen this, and I can say I grew up in the church. Just because you go to church and you wear your nice little hats and everything, your little flower dresses, your nice suits, does not mean that you are right with God. That means you're a Christ-loving person for real. You can be talking the talk, but you sure ain't walking the walk. So don't get it twisted.
God got you coming up there on Judgment Day. Oh, you already...
Don't get it twisted, okay?
No, don't work like that. God knows your heart for real. Now how much you put up in there, how much you trying to please the pastor. He could care less about that pastor because he probably hasn't seen that pastor in a while.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I would rather listen to somebody that goes to Bedside Baptist Church than somebody who stays in church all day and learns nothing.
And get out here and act a fool and treat people like trash. And this is what I'm talking about.
Right here, we can change laws. When you see this feeling we got right here, we're the right ones to do the job. We are. You know why? Look at the power we have with God. We took the religion and church out, and we still held God tight. You see how we just did that?
Now here's the thing. Wayne. Oh my God. Wayne, you gotta let people talk. This is my podcast. Give me a break. You're killing me. But no, seriously. I love your passion and what you're saying, but what we have to do, okay, what has to be done is that we have to get the message out. It has to be reciprocating. And we have to get the message out and let people know, hey, wait a minute. Just because somebody put some poll out and they've got Sheila at 47 and Brandon at 35 and 33% of the people don't know who they want to pick and all that. You can't listen to that. You got to look at each candidate and why Sheila wants to wait till February. We need to start a debate, and the FCC, all you people who have registered, who have filed, they played on Fox. I don't know how long they had Sheila on there. You should get in touch with the FCC. First of all, you should go to Fox and say, I demand to have the same amount of time that Sheila Dixon had on Fox. I demand that, or I'm going to the FCC, if you do not give me the same amount of time that Sheila Dixon had on Fox. That's what you all should be doing. You're running a campaign. I was a campaign advisor. And if I was advising you on your campaigns, which is what I'm doing now, I would advise you, go to Fox. Get in touch with Fox. I'm serious. Fox 45, and demand that you get the same amount of time that Sheila Dixon got to the minute. And if they don't give it to you, go to the FCC and stick the FCC on them. That is what all of you should be doing now. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know I got a rebuttal with you. We'll put this a real nice way. FUCK, Fox 45. That's just how I feel. First of all, they're not getting even my time anyway. I refuse to do an interview with them. Fox 45 have been working enough in Baltimore City. We don't need them to get. If I need Fox 45 to get elected mayor, I didn't do my job. That's just how I am. I'm grassroots. I ask God what to do next.
Yes, sir.
No, I don't need pictures with no one else. You understand? My brothers are dying not knowing God. That's my issue, okay? They are running around here doing anything else, shooting and killing and mad and angry. I'm going to tell you the worst part of the killing. Our young people are beating each other up. Our girls are beating our guys, sometimes even girls up. They don't understand about relationships. They can't communicate. We are in trouble. We can't expect no government, no white people to save us. We got to save our own. And it comes now. Our black man has got to stand up and lead. That's where our problem comes in. Because if the men were in the home, our issues would be resolved.
That would be a big difference.
Because we are not in the home.
That would be a big difference.
Watch this, Whitney's running around there stealing no cars because the father will be at home and say, you know what, at 16 we going out for your permit, and at 18 you're getting your first car. So when the kid's going to run around and steal cars, that kid will say, I'm not riding with you stealing no car, I'm going to get my license, I'm getting a car at 18, I ain't riding with y'all, mess that up. You see the difference? Because that father's in there knowing the difference. Them children out there acting up because they don't have someone in their life who loves them and believes in them. So they flip out like they don't believe in anyone or anything else. They're building up a war and they'll kill you before they want to feel love from any rejection again. That's it.
Our girls will not be looking for love in all the wrong places.
That was a song, wasn't it? That was a song. That was a song, wasn't it? Looking for love in all the wrong places.
So how they know how to love? Think about it, y'all. And we spend our life in church and still don't know how to love. See? Yeah.
Wayne,
Of the church.
Wayne, thanks for being on the show. Wayne Baker, everyone, Wayne Baker, and Wayne, give people your information as far as when they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. My campaign kicks off on the 19th of November. I got a young group working on me. They tore my website down and said, no, I'm going, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to let them talk. I have the assignment. I'm going to let them be the one because I'm doing this for them. It is time for them because they don't have no future. If we don't change things, they have no future. We have to break the cycle right now. So I am Wayne Baker, because Uncle Wayne running for mayor. I can be reached easy at WHB463@gmail.com for now. Until we get the website.
Okay.
I keep my campaign on the 19th. But I need prayer. That's what I need. That's what I need. Prayer changes it all. You know, just say a little prayer for Uncle Wayne that I get it right. That's what I want.
And give it out again. Give out that
And right on the team, I'll be in touch.
That's it. That's what I need.
Wayne, give it out the information again. Give it out again. The people right there.
HB463@gmail.com.
Okay.
Once for now until we get the website together. And if you hear my voice, help me out so we can do this together.
Okay.
I don't want anything. This is us. It's Sarah Garden. Listen, we got to do it, y'all. Our people are suffering. They're suffering bad. And one more time, not knowing God.
Wayne, thanks for being on the show. Kim, don't go anywhere. Doc, don't go anywhere. But Wayne, thanks for being on the show, and we're going to talk later, okay, bro?
I love you all. Till we meet again.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Wow, that was something else. Wayne Baker, he is something else. I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
I know. You know, the other thing I love
wow.
just this message. But I love that you got some of yours back, sir, because other people can't get a word in with you sometimes.
Yeah, but notice how I got myself in there and, you know, had to, woof, Wayne.
Yeah, but that was good.
But he is a passionate guy, and I think his heart is definitely in the right place in what he was saying.
Yes.
And is Doc still there? I see he's on the line.
I've been there all the time.
Really cool. Yeah, I guess he let Wayne do the talking because I'm like, wow, this guy can do. He needs to get his own podcast.
I'm like this. I'm not interested in a lot of verbiage from candidates because that's what we're getting. I'm interested in them answering questions that my community and similar communities have to our questionnaire, and then I will know where they stand on issues. All of these folks he got running there, and I would say they're 50 years or younger or younger, and they all got the gift of gab. But when it comes to documenting where they stand on positions, most of them will not answer our questionnaire. So I'm not listening to a lot of verbiage and talking. If I see someone's answer to my questionnaires, then I have a right to ask them the right questions. But all of these candidates now got the gift of gab. That's why we're in the trouble that we're in now. They talk too damn much.
Hey, did you get Wayne out survey?
I did not see him. Listen, he said he did it within the last 2 weeks. So
No, he's there. He's there. I see him. He's ready.
No, he said 2 weeks, 4 weeks ago he filed. It wasn't until 2 weeks that they documented. And I understand I used to work for the Board of Elections. But I'm drawing on all the language coming from folks. You know, we do a lot of talking. That's what this generation is known for, a lot of talking. But when it comes to action, because my question would be, other than something in East Baltimore, where else you going to put another place for kids to learn how to do stuff? I heard him say some during the Douglas, but this is a citywide position he's running for.
Well, if you get the survey out to him, then see what he says on his answers, and then we can go from there. Because I agree, a lot of talk's being done, And he, you know, talks it. He's saying the right things, but you gotta have the proof in the pudding. I think Wayne I think he'll fill his survey out and come back with good answers. I do. I get a good feeling. So, Wayne, don't forget that survey, because Doc's waiting. Send a survey in, everybody gets one. So we can go over all that. And what's going on with, I'm going to touch on this quick, and then I'm going to move to the Middle East, because I've got some news. I've got some news about the Middle East and Russia and Ukraine. But I got to get back to it. I'm not going to let it go. You know me, once I clamp onto something, that's it. This situation going on with the circuit court, again, no evac. Again, second time, 2 weeks later, white powder, a partial evac, just the 4th floor. As far as I know, I did speak with Sam Cogan. He did not confirm with me that there was an evacuation. As a matter of fact, it was quite the opposite. And had me go to his, his Twitter, his X account. Hey, go look at my X. I'm talking to him. I'm like, I can't believe this guy. Hey, I'm talking to you. I'm literally speaking to you right now. And you're telling me, hey, why don't, first of all, he asked me, do you have my Facebook page? Talk about an ego. Really, Sam? No. Well, I've got Twitter too, and you can go there, and the fire department, it's up to them. And what? The fire department? Go to your Facebook page. This is, you got people.
Leadership response. It's not a leadership response. He was already
wow.
It's a mayor room on. What floor is a mayor room on?
Yeah, City Hall, because this is the circuit court building.
Oh, no, he said the mail room.
The mail, I'm sorry, I just said that. The mail room's on the 4th floor, yes.
The floor that was evacuated is where the mail room is.
Yeah, but here's the thing, the 4th floor was not evacuated October the 16th because my wife works on the 4th floor, and they locked it down. So they locked them in. They got Carry On and another judge and a few people out, and they left everybody else in the building on October the 16th. Left them in the building.
Well, my understanding of federal government buildings and state buildings, I can't say all of the mail goes to the mail room, but a significant portion of mail normally goes into a mail room. But there are some agencies, like the agency I was with, it had its own mail room. So, I'm going to ask the same question that I posed the last time we had this incident 2 weeks ago. Where was the damn internet?
Yeah, here we go again. Literally. What? This
is pretty much non-existent. And it's a very sad thing. And the employees should be outraged at that too. I don't know if folks are still paying union dues, but if I were putting money into that union, I would be serious. You are not getting your money's worth.
No. It's a travesty. It's a disgrace. I'll say it again. This Baltimore City Circuit Court, if this was Wicomico County, and the second time, Dorchester County, Queen Anne's County, Frederick County, Carroll County, I go on. If it was these counties throughout Maryland, okay, they would have got those people out there so fast. I mean, so fast.
I want to say too, Sean, I want to make note of this. I just think it's pretty ironic that this happened so close to your putting Sheriff Cogan on blast.
Yeah, it was odd.
I mean, and here's the thing. When people are, bullshitting and doing stuff they're not supposed to do, they tend to make a lot of mistakes because they get a little cocky and think they're so smart they'll never get caught. Or they start panicking and making mistakes. And so I think that's what we have here, is that I don't believe this was a real scare. I think this was all a performance to try to rehabilitate his character, and it's so obvious. What I would say to Sheriff Cogan is that you can do it, Because what you should have done is to wait a little bit more time. Don't do it so close.
Oh, wow.
To when you put on blast, I would have waited at least a week. At least a week. If not that, though, a couple of weeks to make it look good. But now it doesn't even look good. Now it looks like what it is, which is a sham.
Well, here's the thing. Now, he wasn't the only one, Kim, that I put on blast at this town hall / community listening session in Little Italy that Sheila Dixon held. I put on blast Xavier Conaway as well. I put him on blast. Now, here's the thing. Xavier Conaway was not there. He was at the October 4th town hall meeting she had, but he was not there. And I made it perfectly clear that Sam Cogan, the sheriff, because we talked about this on our podcast, it's nothing new, and that Xavier Conaway, the clerk of the court, he's supposed to get his people out during an anthrax scare or threat, that he's supposed to get his people out. Now, what I noticed is this, is that the envelope with the white powder was found on the 4th floor, and then they were told, the circuit court employees, that they had to evacuate, and this is Xavier Conaway's call because he's the clerk of the court. I did put him on blast. So I don't know, speculating, is there something going on between that? Because he is supporting Sheila Dixon's campaign. And here you have me blasting a person who's in publicly, while she made her announcement, had his picture, not him, a picture of him standing right next to her, right behind her, when she made her announcement, and then he's at the town hall meeting, and she introduced him, Xavier Conaway to death, okay, and introducing this guy, and then I put him on blast last night, and then hours later, after, and here's another thing, when I mentioned this, and I said that it was an immediate evacuation, the people who were sitting right in front of me, they were filming it, I guess for Sheila's Facebook page, and they turned on me. You should have seen this guy. He turned on me, had his attitude with his big ears and his hat, and some other guy, and he's filming, and they turned. I'm thinking, what is going on? Then the guy who's the sound guy, which was terrible, the mics were messing up, and getting feedback all over the place. Even the sound guy jumped into it, and he had some words that he had to say to me. So I got Sheila's people turning on me because I'm saying that people should have been immediately evacuated, and the guy lied and said, no, that's not proper protocol, and then I called him out on it, and then her people turned on me. I see, you see what I'm saying? And then I leave, and I got two big guys. This is what happened. I left, and there was two big black guys with hoodies on in Little Italy, standing on the corner where I parked my car. They just happened to be standing there. I'm thinking, this is strange. Why did this guy stand there? I get in my car, and then I look in my side mirror, and the one big guy with the bald head, he's standing in the middle of the street so I can see him. It's an intimidation thing. I know all about intimidation. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I don't know. How did you got two black guys in Little Italy? Hello? Then I go to pull off, and I go to hit 83, and then one of Cogan's guys in the sheriff car followed me up 83, all the way up 83.
Wow, that's what we're resorting to now.
So it's like that. That's how you're rolling. I'm a son of an Army Ranger. Okay, my grandfather was in World War II in the jungle of Saipan, fighting the Japanese during World War II. You think you're going to try to intimidate me with some big guys who obviously were very well fed, big guys? On the corner, my car was just a little bit down, a few cars down, and I'm walking towards them. And I'm like, there's in the light, you know, there's the whole thing. And then I got one of the sheriff's cars following me after the event all the way up 83. What, really? See, this is why people don't want to speak up in Baltimore, because they know these type of tactics. I'm not saying it was, maybe it was a coincidence that all that just happened with two black guys in Little Italy standing at a light, under a light, a night light. Okay, maybe that's a coincidence, and then the sheriff's car follows me up 83 right behind me. Maybe that was a coincidence. Maybe.
Yeah, they only use seem like mafia tactics.
Maybe it was all a coincidence. Right after I brought up Cogan's name, and then his crony guy got up there and lied at that town hall, talking about this is protocol. Oh, we just leave the people locked in. He didn't say that, but that's what he was saying. We leave the people. I mean, come on. So I got to say this, and I let some of my folk know what happened too. And I'm going to be on the phone with some more of my people to let them know what went down last night. And then it's hours later. Yeah, hours later, you have an envelope with white powder at the circuit court, and then I guess Xavier made sure that this time he did it right. A do-over. They like doing do-overs. A do-over, and they got his people out of there. I just think it's odd that all of this stuff happened in sequence, one after another, hours after each other. After I got up and I brought it up in Little Italy and brought the issue up about the evacuation of Anthrax. I thought that was odd. But let me move on. I want to play this real quick. What's going on in Israel, Hamas, Russia, Ukraine, all of this. There's this guy, and I've seen him before for years. His name is Colonel Douglas McGregor. And he's got a beat on what's going on in Israel, Russia, Ukraine. I want you all to listen to this. Hopefully you can hear it pretty good. But here we go. You got to hear what his take is on everything. Here we go. Cue it up.
Now keep in mind that Ukraine, for all intents and purposes, is in ruins. It's lost its war with Russia. The Russians are moving very slowly and deliberately because, frankly, once they've taken Kharkov to the north and Odessa in the south, given where they are right now, they will have captured all of the territory that is historically Russian. And what the Russians really don't want to do is govern Ukrainians. In other words, they don't want to advance much further and then end up with a population of people who obviously don't want to live under Russian rule. But I think Putin is working behind the scenes to try and restrain Russian forces, to prevent them from advancing too far too quickly, in the hopes that someone in Europe will wake up and recognize that it's time to put an end to this travesty. We obviously refuse to do that. And in fact, if you look at this latest budgetary request from the White House, we're shipping $60 billion to Ukraine. And people are saying, well, my God, is this more weaponry and so forth? But in truth, Ukraine's on life support. The patient is effectively dead. The heart beats barely. It's hooked up. And about all you can do is give it periodically a shave and a haircut, but you're not going to rescue this patient. The patient is dead. And now at the same time, thankfully, I suppose, in some respects, from Biden's standpoint and his friends on the Hill, a new opportunity for madness has presented itself. And that is in the Middle East. You have lots of very foolish people who've decided that this is something that Israel and the United States should capitalize on, that this is Israel's time to strike and wage a war of annihilation against Gaza and its population, without understanding that this is enraging the entire Muslim world, from Morocco all the way to Indonesia. Yep. And we're also pretending, and I think the Israelis are making this mistake as well, that the region is largely unchanged from what it was 50 years ago. Just as they went through something similar in 73, where they were surprised and had to rebound from it, now they think, well, we'll take advantage of this and we'll just settle our differences. And Netanyahu, who effectively, for all intents and purposes, controls the United States Congress and effectively determines what we will do for them, militarily and otherwise, thinks that this is the moment to crush Hamas. Problem is, Hamas is probably not going to be crushed. If they go into Gaza at all, they're going to take heavy casualties. They'll kill lots of people, most of whom are not necessarily part of Hamas. The international situation will get worse. And Hamas is more than just a group of people. It's an idea. And it's very difficult to kill ideas. You can kill lots of people, but killing ideas is a tough challenge. And in the meantime, you've got a very ominous development. Iran, of course, is a very powerful state. People act as though, well, it's backward. Not really. You've got to look at its arsenal of missiles, its developments in aerospace science, its technology, its engineers. You know, Iran does not possess a large ground force that it would hurl into action, but it can reasonably destroy Israel with the missile arsenal at its disposal. Then you have an even more ominous development, and that is the Turks have now effectively said, if this does not stop, we will intervene and go to war with Israel. Well, Turkey has almost 90 million people, has the largest army in NATO, large air forces, large everything. It has the largest drone fleet, over 500 or something in that neighborhood of dangerous drones in the world. Whereas Great Britain has 10, the Turks have over 500. So do the Iranians. They develop some of the most lethal things. And what's really interesting about this is that the Shia and the Sunni have always been at one another's throats, and Israel seems to have achieved something that nobody else has in the last 1,000 years, and that is to unite Sunni and Shia against it.
Yeah. That's a serious situation going on over in the Middle East. Colonel McGregor said Ukraine is done. Did you know that, Kim? Ukraine, they're done.
Yeah.
He just said they're on life support. That's done. So everybody's turning to Israel. Putin did what he wanted to do. He just, and I said this, I called this when this thing happened. I said, what he's going to do, Putin, he's going to go into Ukraine and he's going to take back the Russian territory that they had before. He's not going to take over all of Ukraine. Okay, that would be crazy. But he's going to get that part that was Russian territory, and he's going to take it. And you can go ahead and try to fight it, and send him all this money, Zelensky, all the troubles we have in the States, we send this guy tens of hundreds of billions of dollars.
Right.
Okay. We need the money, and they're losing, and they're what did he say? They're on life support. You know what? Ukraine's done. Which I told people, I said, Ukraine's not. Russia, they have a game plan. And then you got the Turks, Turkey, which goes back to Bible prophecy, Gog and Magog, Ezekiel 38 and 39. And Ezekiel 39:6, I believe, says that those people who dwell carelessly in the isles on the coastline are going to get blasted. That might be the United States they were talking about in prophecy. Read that prophecy. That might be the United States. Those who dwell carelessly in the isles on the coastlands are going to get blasted. Okay, people think because we're in the United States and we're so far away, no.
Yeah, we're not going to be affected, right?
There are subs right off the coast, east and west coast, right now. There are subs, Russian subs. They have multiple nukes in them. Right off the coast of the U.S. They've been there. The Russians have what is called a coast killer. They can set off this device, I'll call it that, and it can produce a tidal wave that can knock out the whole coast of the United States on east and west. And they've got all kinds of other very nasty things. So do we. And you think that this thing in Israel won't expand? The Muslim world, the Muslim Brotherhood, did you know Hamas is the Muslim Brotherhood? Did you know that? They're a Muslim Brotherhood. They're chartered in 87. They're Muslim Brotherhood. People don't know that. That means anyone who's in Muslim Brotherhood throughout the whole Middle East, they might be getting a little upset about this. And you got a Gog and Magog, possible World War III situation, just hanging there. This is crazy. People need to pray. I do. I pray about it. Because that's how dangerous it is. And I guess on that solemn note, everybody better wake up.
Oh my gosh.
People better wake up, because you've been sleeping. Here we got things. We have it so nice here in the United States compared to the rest of the world. I've been in other places in the world.
We're comfortable, yeah. We're very comfortable.
And you better start saying your prayers. If you're not right with God, if you're not right with the Lord, if you're not right with Jesus, better get right. I know there are things I have to correct. Nobody's perfect. I have faults too. But
we all have to be better and be better.
And we have to make sure that right here we have any scare. Do you know if that was anthrax on October the 16th and those people were locked in that courtroom, you would be looking at hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits. Did you know that? Hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits. In lawsuits. And then he did it again. Again. So I'm going to look at his Facebook page and his Twitter page. I didn't have time to do it because I had a show to do. And I let him know. I said, you know, I'm going in. I'm taping in a few hours. And I'm going to do that. And we're going to do that as well. But anyway, thanks all. Thanks for listening again. Thanks for coming, Kim. Doc had to run, but thanks everyone. It's been a great show, and God bless. Take care.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
You are now listening to The Outsiders Podcast.